The definition of falconry is catching wild game with a trained raptor, whether that is a falcon or a hawk or an eagle. This is a female Peel's peregrine. She's about 2 years old now. Her name is Daydream. So we're going to feed her, so I'm not sure how she'll react. So we'll see how interested she is today. She has some interest.
Oh, that guy can fly. Hey, perfect. How about a quail?
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's a problem.
That's not.
So we'll let her eat.
I'm trying to get her switched over.
Yeah, the water's really good for them. You can never give them enough water because the meat is dry and sticky.
Before she gets tempted to go down and pick up all the scroungings, if you just stand up and then.
Okay. No, eating the scroungings. There's a little piece there. Clean your toes. There's something that a falcon has that no other bird has. They've got a certain majesty, a certain majestic presence, a certain cool, quiet aloofness. You got to look at how they're formed. They're just a work of art. The lines, the way they move. They've got a certain something about them, a certain presence that all the apex predators have. I'm passionate about spending time in nature as pristine and unaltered by the hand of man as possible. And I'm passionate about birds of prey because they exist in that environment and no other. If that environment is altered, you're not going to have the birds of prey there. You're not going to have the prey there that they hunt. So I need to get out into nature. I've got to do that in order to feel fulfilled. In order to have a great excuse to get out there, I might as well have a bird of prey to hunt with.
No.
Yeah, she's so comfortable with everybody.
Yeah.
My grandmother had a cat that used to catch birds. It caught a robin one day, a young robin, and I raised it with her help and turned it loose, and it came back for about 2 weeks to be fed. That was really neat to have a wild bird that you could raise and give it some measure of freedom, but yet still have contact with it. Oh, rabbit! So I wrote to the Fish and Wildlife Service, got my permits, and got my first kestrel when I was 13, in 1973. I wouldn't have been successful at falconry if it weren't for a group of guys that I met along the way. When I was 16, I got a red-tailed hawk. We took him down to the Kent Valley a couple times, tried to catch rabbits with him, but at that time I wasn't really understanding very well what game hawking was all about. Shortly after the red-tail, I got a Harris's hawk, and that's when I really started to put it together and learn how to catch stuff with it. I took a break about 1990. And then, when was it? About 96, I decided I would get a bird again. Get him, dog. Get the bunny. Ho! Maybe not. Ho! Get the rabbit. And then, you know, I got bitten by the bug. So I got a couple Harris hawks. I got a couple terriers this time. And I decided to drive further afield. It's a lot more exciting with the bird in the air than the bird on the glove. Sure, it's nice to have a bird on your fist and it looks nice, and I think that's most people's experience with falconry. But that's nothing compared to when the bird is in the air and it's flying and you're actually hunting. That's when you get the biggest kick. That's where the rush is.
Oh, rabbit, pound him!
That's pretty good. That bird came out of the tree and right over your head, and the rabbit came right at you. And that's what happens sometimes. Kaboom. When I take people out on a hunt, I prepare them for what they might expect. A typical hawking day, involves getting up early in the morning. You want to be out in the field at first light, hopefully. Around here, it's pretty much knowing the spot has rabbits anyway, because I've hawked it before. Letting the hawk go into the trees, releasing the terriers, working the blackberry bushes. Hawk follows in the trees, watches the dogs. Rabbit comes out. Bam, hawk takes the rabbit. I get in there as quick as I can and kill it so it doesn't have a chance to suffer. Then I usually gut the quarry open and give the falcon the heart and the liver, cut the head or the neck off and let the hawk eat that, and then pick up the hawk with a leg and walk him back to the truck, and then we're ready to head home. This is the one that caught the bunny. No flight is ever the same. No kill is ever the same. Nothing is ever repeated. And you never know how someone's going to react. It's a pretty earthy experience to see something get caught and killed and eaten right there on the spot. That's terrible. You had enough rabbit for now. I have to share it with everybody, I don't know no one person, taking it again. No one person gets all the bunny. It's everybody gets the bunny. Here, step up. Step back. She says, I want all the bunny, Dad. Step back. You didn't even catch the bunny. So, Helen caught it. This is Hester. She didn't get the bunny. Helen caught it. I've overcome a lot of obstacles to practice falconry, starting when I was a kid, and there's still obstacles now. Starting out, I was an animal person born into a family that really wasn't an animal family. It was sort of an environment of benign neglect. They thought it was nice, that Cam was playing with all his animals, but they didn't really understand the importance of it as central to my life. And so if I didn't have just a burning desire for it and the energy to move mountains and to move all that inertia and to go out and find the information and find the people that I could get the information from, I never would have been a falconer. The current state of the environment for the purposes of falconry sucks. This was all really good blackberries and cover, and look, over there and over there, they came in here and they mowed it out. Where are the bunnies supposed to go now? And this is a really good spot. I like this spot, and they're just mowing this out. Why are they doing this? In the early 70s, when I first trapped and trained birds like the kestrel or redtail that I had, I didn't know anything about hunting, but at least the Kent Valley was wide open farmland and there were lots of opportunities. But as the late 70s and the early 80s came about, lots and lots of development, lots of warehouses, lots of parking lots, lots of condominiums. And as I was learning how to hunt with my birds, I was losing all the spots. Yeah, this is kind of an example of some of the places I used to hawk. And a lot of people like to dump, their trash and stuff here. I guess they figure this is an abandoned area, and so they're just free to dump their trash. So unfortunately, I get a lot of this kind of stuff in my spots, which is kind of depressing. You don't have any land anymore. It's all in development. It's all been paved over or fenced. And this field used to come right to the road here and then across on the other side. And now they got all their tanks and all their armored vehicles here parked. And this used to be a really good spot. As far as being able to hunt rabbits, when they do something like this, it's just gone forever. And this is happening all over. And it's just really depressing to lose so much good, valuable habitat. If you want to practice falconry as it needs to be practiced, you've got to be somewhere where civilization, development, human population hasn't gotten there yet. You can't have power lines. Your bird will hit him in the middle of a stoop.
Oh, he's right on that pole. If he touches any one of those wires, it's a dead bird.
You can't have barbed wire fences. The grouse will fly through the fence and your bird will hit the fence. So falconers are always pushing out towards the edge of development. My spot's disappearing fast here. Flying every kind of bird you'd ever want to fly around here. Hunting every kind of game animal you'd ever want to catch around here. I decided to just change everything. So I decided to make a move. I decided to buy a little house in Saskatchewan. You can only go so far leapfrogging development. I'm tired of moving. So I'm going to go away, a long way away, and where it'll take 40 years for development to eventually catch up. In this grand plan I have, right now I'm living in an apartment downtown, and I really haven't broken the news to my family that I bought a house in Saskatchewan and I'm going to move, and I'm not really looking forward to breaking the news to my family.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to move to Saskatchewan.
Can you sublet your place?
My apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, no, that's just, I'm just renting it. So
Right,
I would
but-
just move out, so someone else. Oh, I see.
Yeah, if you're
Have
gonna
someone
go-
else stay there while we're visiting.
What I'm looking for is taking my falconry to the next level. You know, I've always flown hawks, and that's great, and I've done a great job with them. But flying the big falcons, Jur peregrine hybrids, peregrines, is what the big boys do. And it takes it to the next level, where you really have to put up or shut up. When I move to the prairies, you're going to be flying big falcons. You're going to be flying big falcons at the ultimate quarry, sharp-tailed grouse. You're going to be running your dogs. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tested by the birds you're flying. You're going to be tested by the dogs you run. You're going to be tested by the big country you're running in. And if you're not willing to go all the way, you know, if you're not willing to put all your chips on the table, then don't even sit down and play the game. Don't even make your bet. And I'd like to think that I'm doing my best to practice the sport at the best level it can be practiced at, and then passing it on to the next generation of people.